So let's check out this problem. You can probably see the answers that we erased, but we'll see if they were right. So the first thing you want to do whenever you get a problem like this is to look what you're given and then work your way around it until you find
Like these four are easy.
all the answers.
They're like vertical and then
So clearly 4 is easy, right?
Yeah.
4 is 115, and also can you see that number 5 and 2 are equal to each other?
Yeah.
And do you see that they're a linear pair with 115?
Yeah, so you do 180 minus 115.
So 180 minus 115 is 65. So 2 and 5 are both 65 degrees. So that was easy as well. So let's just even write them in here. All right, now this one's a little bit tricky because you look right here, and it kind of looks like this is a triangle, but it's not.
Yeah.
Because that's actually, right? That's not a triangle. So actually, the sides of a quadrilateral don't add up to 180. The sides of a quadrilateral add up to 360. I'm sorry, the angles of a quadrilateral add up to 360.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Do you understand that?
Yes.
So that let's hold off on that a little bit. Well, actually, we could figure that out right now, can't we?
Yeah.
Because we have 90 here, 61 here, 65 here, and so 7, angle 7, plus the other ones have to add up to 360. So you can just solve that equation for 7.
7 would be 144.
So angle 7 is 144, which it looks like you had correct in the first place.
If it has like that shape and it has a 90 degree angle, then you need to see.
So hold on a second. I just showed you something that maybe you hadn't learned yet.
Yeah.
Just like angles in a triangle add up to 180. Let me show you a little trick. This is a little bit different than what we did. So I'm realizing you could have done that without that property, knowing that property. If I have any polygon, to find what the angles add up to, I just take one vertex and I break it into triangles. So what do you know about this? What is this first triangle? All the angles have to add up to
180.
And what is the second triangle? What do all the angles have to add up to?
180.
Right, so this is 180 plus
And they all equal
180,
360.
and 180 plus 180 equals
360.
360. So what if I had a five-sided polygon, a pentagon, all the angles, look what I do. I take one vertex and from there I break it into triangles. So how much is each one of those triangles going to equal? 180, 180, 180. So what's the total angles? It's 180 times 3, whereas this was 180 times 2, and then keep going. So what you do is it's 180. The property is it's 180 times the number of sides minus 2. So if you have a triangle, you plug 3 into that equation, and you get 180. If you have a quadrilateral, you plug 4 into that, you get 180 times 2. If you have a pentagon, you plug 5 into that, you get 180 times 3. So there's your formula. You'll learn that later. Maybe you haven't learned that yet in geometry. So let's redo that with a different property. Okay? Instead of assuming that you knew that, let's just keep going around the circle and finding things.
We could do 80 minus, or 180 minus 80 minus 65.
Good. So I know that that's 65. So I can find 1. And you know that all 3 of those add to 180. So these 2 add to 100. So 35.
Yeah.
1 is 35 degrees. Okay, so now that I found that, let's see, can that going to help us with anything? Well, I know that this one right here is 4 was 115. Yeah, you might need that property that I showed you. You might need that because I don't know how you can do 3 and 6 without first finding 7.
Yeah.
So actually, I'd take everything back. I do think that the best way to do that was to use that property that I told you about 360.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and write that back in. That's 144. So if 7 is 144, now I can find 6.
how would you find 6? Would you do
Well, now-
180 minus 144?
See how you have a linear pair here? 7 plus 6. 7 and 6 have to equal 180. So they're a linear pair. So 6 is 144 minus, or 180 minus 144,
It's 36.
which is 36. So 6 is 36. And if 6 is 36 and 4 is 115, what does 3 have to be? Angle 3
29.
plus 115 plus 36 have to add up to 180 because 3 angles in a triangle add up to 180. So add those together. You get 140, 151. Is that 151? 29. 3 is 29.
Mm-hmm.
And there you go.